All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. The trade deadline has come and gone now. We kind of forgot that we were actually going to make this video, but yeah, I obviously got to get it out. It is 1:15 at the moment, so yeah, deadline just passed. Maybe we'll get something to come out to surprise and get a little more to get in right after the buzzer. But regardless, let's just get right into it. Had a decent amount of trades. I know you're complaining, thought it was a little boring. I thought it was just fine, but yeah, let's just get right into it.
Obviously, it wasn't a lot of overzealous trades. Pretty light there. But this is kicking off with the first one. The Browns trading Zaire Smith and the 2026 7 to the Lions for 2025 fifth and a 2026 sixth-rounded pick. So obviously, there's already been talks with Zaire Smith and the Lions already, having some talks back and forth there for the past couple of weeks there. And this was just a really nice acquisition. I wouldn't even say a fleece. I would pretty much say it's an even trade there. But obviously, for the Lions, they're just stacking up that defense at the edge position there. Kind of get more replacements for Hutchinson there. But once again, these strong teams, they're just getting better and better. And adding Zaire Smith just adds a really big core to that front seven.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see Desarius Smith collecting the NFC North teams like Infinity Stones. Just got to get to the Bears next year, probably. But yeah, all reality, I love this trade for Detroit. Like you said, nice replacement for Aiden Hutchinson. And look, I mean, for the value that you're getting for, definitely a great move. I mean, to only have to give up a fifth and a sixth, and you get a seventh on the way back. So definitely nothing crazy. But move it into keep it in that division. The Chicago Bears moving Khalil Herbert, someone that I kind of had a little soft spot for, having him in fantasy a couple years in a row before. He's on his way to the Bengals. He gets paired in just for a 2025 seventh. I mean, very low value, just a low run-of-the-mill trade. But obviously, we know the Bengals are making this deal as news just came out that Zach Moss will miss the entirety of the regular season. Hearing reports that he could be back for the playoffs if they do make it. But regardless, they need someone to tandem up with Chase Brown. Khalil Herbert definitely has the opportunity to do that. I'm just not sure what the Bears are doing, considering Herbert was a great piece for them.
Yeah, honestly, this is a really great piece on the Bengals side. Zach Moss, that 1-2 punch with him and Chase are gonna get like that. Hopefully, Herbert does have a little bounce back with the Bengals, since they are having a little bit of resurgence on that. Then kind of bolster up that run game just a little bit there. We see Burrow, he's been popping up, but adding a run game is just gonna make it best of both worlds. And now moving on with the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, bro, decided to finally wake up and make a trade. He woke up, but something didn't go wrong here, man. This is the first piece of news I woke up to before we headed to school. The Panthers traded Jonathan Mingo to us and a 2025 seventh for us for a 2025 fourth round pick. Now, for how Jonathan Mingo is, he's young. He had a lot of high hopes coming. As one of the guys from one of the drafts, but a fourth round pick, it's too high. Specifically, how Mingo has been. I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was in a very, very shitty system with the Carolina Panthers, with the quarterback situation with Bryce Young was to begin with there. Now he's coming in here to help bolster up our receiving end there. Now that CD's injury is still day-to-day there. So we're going to have to wait to see. For a fourth round pick, if it was a fifth or a sixth round pick, the trade would have been good. But giving up a fourth round pick for Mingo, that's, still has a lot to prove. I would say this is pretty mid-trade there, but with how young he is, if he can develop in this system, hopefully it's not just a one trade-off there. Maybe it could be good there, and hopefully that never pays off. But with the way the Cowboys are looking at this season, it's pretty bad traded, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, in all reality, I'm not loving the deal for you guys. Just considering, I mean, look at all the other trades, the kind of compensation everyone's getting.
We're gonna get into
just the one we're gonna get into. That's the only one that really garnered, that type of value, and the only one that was worth it. Looking at Mingo, I don't know why. He went for a fourth. Realistically, I think other teams could have gotten him for like a sixth, but Jerry wanted to. That was the one trade he thought to make, and it was dumb compensation. Let's just leave it at that. But like we said, move it into the biggest trade of the day: Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders. Now, we saw the Chiefs were seeming to make a run, but earlier this morning it seemed like they were going to be out of it. Washington had been in talks for a couple days now, if I'm not mistaken, and get this deal done. Washington gets Marshawn Lattimore and a 2026 fifth for 2025 third, fourth, and sixth. So obviously this is the biggest compensation we're getting. It's the biggest piece that went off the board. Now, I honestly think, I love this move. We've been talking about Washington's underrated defense, and obviously gets a lot stronger with a top corner in this league. They're gearing up for a playoff run. Obviously, they can tell, they're in prime position to win the East right now. Definitely see what they can do. Just to think, in Jaden Daniels' rookie year, still have, their window is already open, way ahead of schedule, and I mean, just very excited to see what Lattimore can do for this Commanders defense.
Yeah, man, these top teams, they're just bolstering up. They're bolstering up the Lions, the Commanders. They're doing everything they can. And with the Commanders, who've had iffy defenses this past couple of years, this year, the way they're looking right now, with Jaden Daniels building around on this Commanders team, it's going to look very scary for the next couple of years to come and see what kind of playoff push they're going to be able to do for the next couple of months. Now coming into the big receiver trade here, Mike Williams. The Jets are trading Mike Williams to the Steelers for a 5th-round pick. Now this is where it overshadows, where you mentioned with the Mingos who the Cowboys pick. A 5th-round pick for Mike Williams, who is inevitably better than Jonathan Mingo. Obviously, he just had a deteriorating role in that Jets core. They traded him for the offseason to have a big role in the receiving end there to help with Garrett Wilson and Lazard there. But we see Lazard was able to pick it up more. He's been having a bigger role. Garrett Wilson's finally starting to pick it up a little bit more now that, the Jets is kind of a little iffy there. They got Devontae Adams. The game against Houston finally looked like the Devontae Adams that we're used to seeing there. So his role is kind of a little bit diminished there. Now coming to the Steelers, you're pairing it with Pickens. You finally have a quarterback like Russell Wilson who can finally throw the ball down the field and get the pass game getting going. This is a very good pickup for the Steelers in the receiving core. Pickens finally got a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting to see a lot more of the Chargers Mike Williams that, was a great piece until he got hurt last season.
Yeah.
And I think just like you said, obviously it's not on Aaron Rodgers, like as if, he wasn't the problem, just quarterback talent as a whole, obviously. Just, that wide receiver room was too congested. And just like what you're saying, now it's more spread open in the Pittsburgh offense. Definitely something we could have seen in Dallas for him. I know something you really wish could have happened, but obviously the Steelers made the move. Steelers were a team that were very close to signing him in free agency. Now he finally gets his chance to see what he can do in Pittsburgh. But moving into, once again, the Steelers. They were the only team to make multiple moves today, getting Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers, and only for a 7th-round pick. Don't know if it was this year or next year. I'm assuming it was going to be this year's, but yeah, a 7th-round pick for a talent like Preston Smith. I mean, really bolstering up already. I mean, one of, if not the top defense in the league, and that's in large part been carrying this Steelers team. Pairing him out with, guys like TJ Watt and just a really strong front seven that they have in Pittsburgh. I mean, Preston Smith, maybe he hasn't, had the impact that we probably expected this season, but throwing him into, getting the pressure off of him, looking at guys like, Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, definitely expect him to maybe start turning this season around.
I mean, even looking at his play style this season, that's what just leave that behind. I mean, for a 7th-round pick, I mean, that's just the still regardless there, and you're getting in a better defensive system with the Pittsburgh Steelers there, like you just mentioned, guys with TJ Watt. It's gonna be another deadly duo trio with the 3 guys up on that line. And now closing out with the final trade of the deadline, the Rams, they're trading Tre'Davious White and a 2027 7th to the Ravens for a 2026 7th. So David, this is obviously one of your guys, so I'll let you take the load on this one.
Of course. I mean, look. I mean, it's no surprise. I'm pretty happy to get Trey White off this team. We'd heard reports that we were pretty close to releasing him. We were thinking about releasing him now. I mean, at first I thought we were just getting a 7th for him. Now we see we're trading a 7th next year for a 7 2 years in here. I mean, pretty much we're just giving him up and just a quick little trade swap. I'm kind of indifferent. People are saying, oh, what if he just pops off on the Ravens secondary? In all reality, the way I see it, he wasn't going to have any type of success in this in the Rams system. So, I mean, it's fine. Let him get a change of scenery overall. I mean, I don't have too much to say overall. Kind of happy to see him go. But in all reality, I really expected the Rams to make more moves in this deal. I mean, we were told that we were going to be buyers in this deadline. Heard a lot of rumors of Azeez Ojulari, some other guys. I mean, I kind of would have expected to pick up a corner and not just let one go. But in all reality, I think this does keep us better. It opens up a spot for us. Trey White's just been inactive. Bring someone else in, even if it's just a free agent role for the practice squad. But I just kind of would have liked something more. I mean, for you, Christian, I don't know if you want to drop in anything more that you wish the Cowboys could have done.
I mean, I pretty much already expect this to be. I didn't expect any moves. That's what Jerry even said. But he surprised us with this tomfoolery of a trade there. We'll see about Iman Words and Mingo actually decides to step up for this receiving end, especially knowing our receiving core there. But it's really no surprise to me. We know Cowboys, they're a draft team. They don't do nothing during free agency. So really, any Cowboys fan out there, this is no surprise to us whatsoever.
Absolutely. And in some ways, I guess I could say the same. But, I guess, in some of the years the Rams make runs, kind of remember some some key trade if we're looking back. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us for the trade deadline recap here. Obviously, you know, last year we did an own individual video for the midseason recap. I think we're gonna pair that into kind of the main title for the Bean Talk. So, you know, anyone that's still watching to the end of this video, make sure to, you know, drop some comments, maybe in the head over to our Instagram when we post our asking for you guys to give us some takes. Drop your thoughts on the anything for midseason up to this point. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you like and subscribe, and we'll see you right back for Bean Talk.